I'll make it
recomposed. Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
Hey, Greg Jennings is going to make his addition a little later. I like this football and basketball version of Under Duress. Nick's going to hand out some medals now. Grizzlies, T-Wolves, D'Angelo Russell could not be stopped in the fourth quarter. Scored 23 of his game-high 37 in the last 12 minutes, including a 3 to take the lead with just over a minute left. Minnesota gets the win. No medal for Russell, though. Nick, which 3 guys landed spots on your podium last night, buddy?
Sorry, D'Angelo, you barely missed out because I want to give credit to Devin Booker. Chris Paul can't play.
Oh, yeah, big night.
So point guard Booker is back. 25 points, 5 rebounds, and 12 assists. I understand it's against the Thunder, but he's going to have to play point guard with Chris Paul out. And he reminded you, hey, I did this before Chris Paul was here a little bit. Silver medal. Nikola Jokic, again, dripping in objectivity. I could have given it to teammate Will Barton, who had 31, but I'm told the Nuggets have no other good players. So how could he win a medal? Instead, Jokic gets it. 25, 12, and 9. And then the goal, Broussard. Is he going to win MVP? Maybe. DeMar DeRozan, in his last 6 games, Broussard, that he's been eligible for it, has 4 golds, 1 silver, and a bronze. DeRozan, just a mainstay on the medal stand. In his last 8 games, Brew, he's averaging 38, 6, and 5 on 62% shooting. 62%. DeMar DeRozan gets another goal.
He's moving up, Nick. He is now a viable contender for the MVP. There's no doubt about it.
For MVP.
Yes, 100%.
All right, let's talk some Lakers. Should they actually consider trading LeBron James? I'll tell you who thinks it's a good idea next, first things first. Yeah, trading him.
None of them has been at odds with the Lakers. There even was a report yesterday we saw that they said they should trade LeBron James. So, a lot of pressure on the King. Let's see how he handles it in these upcoming weeks. All right, at number 4, Brian Gutekunst, the general manager of the Green Bay Packers. His superstar quarterback, Aaron Rodgers, says, yeah, Goody, as I like to call him, told me, after the season, if I won out, he'll trade me. Goody says, I never promised that. Aaron Rodgers says, I want to see what they do with Devontae Adams. Goody says, Aaron Rodgers has to be the first domino to fall before we take care of any of the other free agents. Not to mention Aaron Rodgers now reportedly wanting $50 million. My goodness. And if Rodgers wants to trade, Nick, where does Goody send him? Does he do what's best for the Packers? I think he would. Or does he bow to Rodgers and send him where he wants to go? All right, at number 3, James Harden. We just talked about his legacy being defined by this time in Philadelphia. I want to throw something else out, Nick. Did James Harden move too soon? Like what? Now that we know that Kyrie Irving should be playing home games in some time in the near future, right? Should Harden have just relaxed, chilled out, and then in 3 weeks from now, it's a big 3 in Brooklyn? He left that big 3 that was 13-3 and looked phenomenal when they were together to now join the big 2. And as a part of the big 2, Nick, his role in the clutch is going to be bigger again. I think he liked the idea of KD can take the big shot. Kyrie can take the big shot. I just need to run the show in the clutch. Well, now, yeah, Joel can take the big shot, but you're going to have to do it as well. At number 2, Aaron Rodgers. Of course, I mean, all the NFL world, just like NBA is focused on LeBron, NFL is focused on Aaron Rodgers. What will he do? Will he retire? Will he return to Green Bay? Will he request a trade? Does he really want $50 million? And here's the other thing, Nick. Despite winning the last 2 MVPs, I would argue, I don't know that Aaron Rodgers' image, or let's put it this way, he has not been questioned as much as he is now. I think that's fair to say. As a football player, like now we really are wondering, is this dude just a regular season phenom? There's reports that even in the Green Bay organization, they are saying, is he the same guy in January and February that he is in the regular season? So a lot of pressure regardless of what he does. If he stays, can you lead Green Bay to the Super Bowl? If you go to the AFC, you really want to take on all those guys in that conference? And if you retire, well, you were great individually, but it's been a long time since we saw you in the Super Bowl. All right, at number 1, Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons. The good news is that Ben is looking terrific on the bench in street clothes with his new teammates. I watched him last night against Boston. He looked good, like comfortable, calm, collected, all that. The bad news is that Ben looks comfortable and calm and collected in street clothes on the bench next to his new teammates. Like, where's he playing? Ben, I want to see you Monday. I want to see you Monday out there playing for the Nets. I certainly want to see you in Philadelphia on March 10th. And boy, oh boy, I mean, that is a game, March 10th in Philadelphia, that the pressure is going to be on. How does he handle it? If he doesn't play, or if he melts and he crumbles and it clearly affects him, then what are we looking at for the rest of the season for the Nets? If he does play and he plays great and he overcomes, same thing, Nick, my oh my, then what are we looking for? Because it would seem like the mental cobwebs are gone. He's going to be at his best, and that would bode well for the Nets and maybe have championship ramifications.
All right, I think this is a really good list, Broussard. I'm going to make a couple small tweaks because I think in an odd way, when he comes back, and it should be sooner than later reportedly, Ben Simmons' teammate, Kevin Durant, is under some duress here. So here's the deal, Broussard, and we don't talk about this so much because he is so obviously and clearly and undeniably great. But what's also true is Kevin Durant turns 34 before next season begins. Kevin Durant has won one playoff series since May of 2019. Brew, we're in February of 2022. So, and again, it's not his fault, but it's the reality of the situation. And Durant did something interesting a few days ago. He was tweeting about, what defines a player's legacy? Is it skill or accomplishments? And I can't get into KD's head, but I'm guessing, KD hopes the answer is skill more than accomplishments because his skill is undeniable. Undeniable. And I'm not trying to act like KD hasn't accomplished a ton in this league. But when you look at the guys who are the greatest to ever play, which he obviously is, almost all of them have not accomplished a little more than him. They've accomplished a lot more. So Durant has 2 rings, 4 finals appearances, 1 MVP. Guys, in my opinion, he's chasing on the all-time list or right there with Steph, who he's right there with, maybe slightly ahead. Steph has 3 rings, 5 finals, 2 MVPs. What about Dr. J? Dr. J has 1 ring, 4 finals, 1 MVP in the NBA, and then 3 MVPs and 2 championships in the ABA. So you put Dr. J's career together, to me it far out. Bird, for instance, right? What does Bird have? 3 rings, 3 MVPs, 5 finals appearances. I think a lot of people are like, oh, Durant's better than Bird. Well, not yet. Maybe if they were to, not yet. And so Moses Malone, Durant's got more rings. Moses has 3 MVPs. So the Dream's got around the same resume. He's got the 2 rings, 3 finals appearances, 1 MVP. So my point is this. For a guy who's now, I think, a legit injury concern, every playoff run matters. Every year matters once you're into your mid-30s. And for Kevin Durant to add to the resume, like this year's critical, next year's critical, but every year is critical. So I think he's under a little bit of duress going into the stretch run here.
No, you bring up some good points. And look, the fact of the matter is, and I did not kill Kevin Durant. I was one of the few when he went to Golden State. And I knew he'd be celebrated when he won the inevitable championships with Golden State. But it is undeniable that many people, while we still give him credit and we know he was great and he was their best player, we still look at that like, yeah, but I mean, that team, a ton of good players could have went there and won championships. Let's just call it like it is. All right, and so a lot of us